speed, mobility, whether it's the ground. I actually think these guys, it's going to be more of a mixed martial arts kickboxing match. I cannot wait for this one. It is our co-featured bout. Let's get it started.
Feel great, hydrated, feel fast, feel ready, very capable to go out there and do what I gotta do.
Feel good, ready to kill, ready to get the win.
I got everything I need. I've got enough data to know that it doesn't stand a chance in there with me, and I'm gonna go out there and take him out.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been there with him. I understand his time. I understand the way he moves, and I know how to beat him.
I didn't do the usual Curtis Millender things. I didn't go bring a suit. I didn't get a haircut. I came out here just for work and just kick some ass.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to kill. I'm ready to get the win, get the finish, get the job done. Let's go.
Oh man, prepare for domination.
Fans, let's bring our co-main event out to the unified cage. First in the blue corner, Curtis Millender.
I absolutely love this fight. Our co-main event. Millender has fought for almost every major organization in the world. He is so skilled. His fight IQ is through the roof. He has really faced every type of body type, fighter style. He knows every single inch of that cage, almost 30 fights to his credit. Really just an incredible athlete and fighter. He can get it done wherever he needs to, but his skills really, when it comes to impressing and entertaining, it's his mixed martial arts kickboxing that I think most people look at.
He's a very strong striker. You know, last fight unfortunately ended early, but you know, as you said, he has pro boxing experience. He's fought in every major organization basically, and you know, he's kickboxing background. He's a dynamic fighter in that sense. He can wrestle. As you said, it's a striker's delight, I think. The one thing that's interesting is he talked about how this is his last year fighting. And when you already have your eyes on the end, is sometimes you can lose track of what you're doing in the moment.
It says December 2nd, Fight Club OC. It's going to be his last fight. He already has the date set, which is very interesting. But he loves fighting for Unified. He wants to win this fight and come back and get Unified gold before the end of the day.
Super cool.
He's very motivated by that.
Well, a win over KB Buller kind of sets you up right in line for that title shot.
Absolutely. And his favorite fighter of all time is Matt Hughes. He's not a GSP fan. He said GSP was like the Lakers to his Celtics. So, but he also did say it was a dream to fight Rory McDonald. It was a fight he always wanted and got to do that in the PFL.
What'd be the equivalent of Lakers and Celtics now?
You're asking the wrong person.
I don't know anything about basketball. It's the only one where you can dribble a ball.
Lakers and Celtics is for life.
Gotcha.
We're going back to the days of Bill Russell and Jerry West here.
That's fair.
Those names don't mean anything to you.
I do sports. You know, but we have Millender, you know, he's also fairly large for the weight class, which is insane to me because he used to make 170.
Yeah, wow. But sometimes those are the weird things that we've seen in mixed martial arts.
The other half of our co-main event in the red corner, KB Buller.
The Bengal experienced fighters, a ton of mixed martial arts experience, and the fans will benefit tonight because they will showcase every single skill that they have inside the unified MMA cage. We want to thank you for tuning in on UFC Fight Pass, wherever you're watching. Shout out to my buddy Eddie, loves unified MMA, as we are getting set for our co-main event here at Unified MMA 50.
I hope that check's in the mail from Eddie for you for mentioning him on the broadcast.
Yeah.
Hi, Eddie.
Last minute instructions from referee Andy Social to the Bengal KB Buller. I'm excited. My palms are sweating.
It's going to be a big one.
All right, we'll send it up to Don Andrews.
Fight fans, our co-main event scheduled 3 5-minute rounds in our unified middleweight division. This fight sponsored by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Introducing first, this man fighting out of the blue corner, Standing 6'3" tall, his official weight 184.8 pounds. His record 19 wins, 9 losses, no draws, 1 no contest. 7 of those wins coming by way of knockout or TKO. Fighting out of California Mixed Martial Arts in San Bernardino, California. Please welcome Curtis Millender. Across the cage, his opponent this match fighting out of the red corner. Standing 6'4" tall, his official weight 184 pounds even. His record 11 wins, 4 losses, no draws, 1 no contest. 7 of those wins coming by way of knockout or TKO. Fighting out of Shea Bears MMA here in Edmonton, Alberta. Please welcome KB the Bengal Buller. Your referee in charge of your co-main event tonight is Serious Andy Social.
All right, gentlemen, we've gone over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Fight hard, fight fair. Touch them up, step back, get ready to fight.
Ooh, no love lost there.
Oh, bad blood. Will it be the long-range weapons of the Bengal? And the punches for Millender.
Millender talked about there's a type of striker that he has trouble with, and he didn't think that KB Buller was that style. He wouldn't say what the style was, unfortunately. Beautiful kicks. I like the teeps, the knee. From what I've seen, it's someone that can establish their jab on Millender, and it's not exactly, it's easier said than done due to his style. But I don't think KB's not someone that relies on their jab, but a beautiful straight left there.
I will tell you, when I was thinking about this fight and the possible outcomes, I really see a whole bunch of different ways for this fight to end. I could see it ending in a minute, I could see it being 15 minutes, and I can see it being everything in between.
Oh, you know, depending on how it goes, go past the 15. They don't seem to like each other very much. KB starting to get his feints going, which is a key to victory for him, to be able to make Millender kind of buy what he's selling, and so he can land.
And trying to get a reaction, too.
Yes, 100%. Now, Millender's doing the same thing. He's kind of like planting those seeds with those kicks to the lead leg, making sure that KB doesn't plant super heavy onto there, you know, risking his knee.
KB being very aggressive early, which is not typically like it.
But he has to be, because Millender will be aggressive. If Buller decides that he's going to be passive, Millender's going to move forward.
Yeah, as we've seen, this entire fight has been Millender stalking, almost chasing KB Buller, and KB just looking get his rhythm, get his timing, and land those big kicks to the body and probably to the forearms, trying to break those arms, so to speak.
A little smirk on the face of Millender.
Mitch, when you see an opponent smile at you like that, what are you thinking in that moment?
I'm a spiteful little man, so like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give you something to smile. I remember when I fought Ally Akinta, he smirked when I threw a jab, and then the next shot when he threw a kick, I threw everything into that right hand as hard as I could. So and he fell down, I think, because I grabbed him.
And I missed that. Millender complaining
of a groin shot.
And if we remember, that happened in the first fight.
Yep, opening
yep.
Kind of 30 seconds, I believe. Beautiful, and that kick to the knee. KB has to be very careful of that. Whenever that leg straightens out.
A little oblique kick.
Yeah, you know, the Mike Winklejohn, really known in his group.
John Jones.
John Jones. But we see this, you know, seeing it all across, you know, in mixed martial arts. Just like more dynamic kicks are happening, you know, as the sport evolves, sort of the kicks that we're seeing in this sport.
Very interesting first round. 3 minutes expiring.
Axe kick attempt. That sound of that block
brutal.
Is like, I can't tell the viewers at home how devastating that can hurt. From like, even though you blocked it, now your forearms are shot. And especially with an explosive puncher like Millender, that can make all the difference.
And it's interesting because Millender's blocking a lot of these shots, but they're still doing a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Like if you're looking for the damage so far in this round, I would say that it's swaying into Buller's area code.
Oh, totally. And you know, even when they catch the kicks to the body, the impact to the body still hurts. And I think judges sometimes forget that, or viewers at home forget that, like, you're still eating a full impact of someone propelling their leg at you.
And you have to remember, again, there's certain philosophies. One of Bruce Lee's philosophies is limb destruction.
Yep.
Whether you're blocking it or not, I'm going to hurt your arm that you decide to block with.
I remember the fight of KB versus Strategina, and he would just kick through the blocks. And, like, I guess Strategina had to go to the hospital to get his arms x-rayed because of how hard the kicks were. And it seems to be the same thing here with Millender, as he's just continuing to block and become frustrated because the shots are glancing off the groin, but landing big strikes there, and KB not engaging completely, but only on his terms.
Millender getting close there, tagging KB Buller.
Kicks are in the vicinity.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in their belt line.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
of them might be grazing.
Oh.
The referee's saying keep going.
Millender's getting frustrated, though. We saw him earlier complaining to the referee. That's 2 times.
With those toe stab attempts that we see from KB, it like you said, it's in the vicinity. It's, you know, it's getting close. But even that, right there, the block by Millender, that's close to the groin. But, you know, I think that there's no love lost here, so that might be part of why Antisocial is okay with it.
And oftentimes when people land these deep kicks, they graze the cup on the way down.
Yep.
Yeah. That is the main impact is on the body, but then as the foot drags down, it makes impact on the cup. And make sure you have a good cup on hand.
And to be fair, the fighters are only feeling what they're feeling, right? It's just like what we're talking about in the past, where some of these fighters believed they were poked in the eye when they were punched in the eye. But to them, they were poked in the eye.
Totally. You know, and like, even though they're eating a teep and it slides down, anytime you touch my cup, I'm obviously going to be offended.
Yeah. And why wouldn't you be? You feel that it's a foul.
Yes, 100%. You know, and it's a gray area. It's really tough depending on whether it's like you can see that full-on impact. I think Antisocial right now kind of like telling the inspectors to tell the fighters to be aware of the open hands where there, because he probably doesn't want a replay of last fight.
And not that it matters, but Millender's coming to Canada. And whenever you travel to another country or another locale against the hometown fighter, oftentimes you think that the referee, for whatever reason, is favoring the hometown guy, which is not the case at all. But a lot of the times, that's the mentality, because you know that you're the underdog and you're coming on the road to try to beat someone on their home court.
Your enemy number one. That's just the way it is. Everyone's against you, and, you know, got to have a little bit of a chip on your shoulder.
Millender talking to Buller.
Buller being a little bit closer, being in that boxing, a little bit closer to that boxing range. They normally is. High kick, and Millender talking to Buller.
Millender's confidence starting to soar, showing Buller no respect. But he doesn't want to get too emotional. He's got to reel it back.
I think Millender just slowly walking him down, and I think he in his mind, it's a matter of time before he's able to land that shot, that fight ender, because he knows he has that ability to put your lights out. And KB is really looking to draw it out and really get to his moment where he can land that counter strike and follow it up.
Beautiful kicks by Millender as well.
Millender told me that he noticed something in that first fight between them that was a weakness of KB's that he was looking to exploit in this fight. He felt like anywhere the fight went, he was going to be the better fighter. I'm sure you have to think that as a fighter in general, but he said that he got a really good read from KB for the limited time that they had in the first fight.
Well, that's the major difference between this fight and the last one, is the attacking on that lead leg with that oblique kick. And I feel like that's something that he was able to scope from that first fight. It's that reliance on leaving that lead leg, the front of your knee exposed, so to speak, because that's what we've seen, and that's been the story of this fight. Is any time where KB is not committed, the low kick, the oblique kick comes.
Millender is so aware, and he just knows how to keep himself very safe.
Yeah, staying just out of the way. Oh, beautiful high kick, following with the right hand.
Almost no tell on that.
No, and you know, it's not the same like that big roundhouse kick. It's just up to let you know I can touch you. And that's the thing, is you don't need to throw all your power into it. KB sometimes is throwing those hard kicks to the arms with all his power just to try and break those limbs, but it's just like sometimes you just got to touch your opponent.
just like there.
Yep.
You keep that little teep to the midsection over and over again. It hurts like hell.
Yeah, and then follow up with the body kick right there. Super. Millender looking to the ref a lot due to lack of probably engagement from KB, but
again, getting
or the
frustrated.
fingers pointing out. I think that's what he's taking.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Both guys kind of fighting out of character here.
yeah, KB leaping in and
Frustration.
yeah. And Millender stalking and almost chasing his opponent and having an opportunity there and realizing that KB probably was wanting to lure him in to engage in that space. So a really good cage awareness.
Millender again just inching forward, trying to trap Buller up against the cage.
I'd also like to state that Millender doesn't like poutine, so he is definitely...
He's not welcome back.
Big swing and a miss there from KB, and Millender controlling from this turtle position. But
Millender wasting no time, one hook in. No, and then you're hearing the corner saying, don't put your hooks in.
I'd agree with that assessment. His opponent's really tall and looking to explode up, so and you're sweating at the end of the second round. You're going to slide off. You don't have that chest on back pressure. You don't have any friction. And without that over-under control, you're not going to be able to hold your opponent in that back position. So just riding him out and doing this cross-body hold on that wrist, that's the key in this fight.
This is huge for Millender, racking up points with just over a minute remaining in round 2.
If he's been up, this is a good play.
That's what I mean.
He needs to land some damage.
Sure.
Yeah. But the other thing is just tactically, this is very smart. If you look at Millender, he's sitting over top of that ankle, and that's the ankle that KB needs to be able to limp leg out or be able to do a safety stand-up, so to speak, is that the bottom leg is essentially that one, and that's locked in, and he's not able to move. So Millender's able to have a control time here, following up with strikes to the body. They're probably looking for a body lock right away.
Good job by KB to get to his feet.
Totally.
But if you're Buller, you've got to do something if you want to convince the judges that you've won this round.
Yeah, he's let a lot of the round go by. Some of the bigger strikes have been hit by Millender, and he got a takedown and some good control. And right now, holding out your opponent against the cage and isn't enough.
Well, with 17 seconds left, I mean, Buller getting a takedown here isn't going to add much to his tally.
No, I'd agree with that. It's like it's not much of anything. It'd almost be better to break off and try and land a big strike, but it's easier said than done. Oh, strikes to the toes.
2 rounds in the books. You see a little mouse under the left eye of KB Buller.
And I know Curtis Millender is trying to get into his head, but KB has said to me, his goal when he's in there is to just have an empty mind and to be an instrument of martial arts. I don't know how much that's affecting him, if Millender is able to somehow get into his head with the trash talk, but at the same time, a pretty good round by both guys there in the second.
No, totally. And, you know, combined with, you know, your opponent's talking to you, to the ref, is that it can bring you out of your zen moment, so to speak. That flow state that I think KB's trying to get into. So it'll be interesting how he comes out for this third round and shake it off that second round, come into the third round, you know, clear. Very interesting fight so far, very tactical so far.
Yeah, personally, I think it's tied going into this third round, but who knows? Again, 2 very close competitive rounds in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Final 5 minutes. This middleweight contest, our featured bout here at Unified MMA 50. John Randine, Mitch Clark, Aaron Bronstetter, your broadcast team. A left round kick targeting the skull of Millender.
KB back to feinting, trying to set up those singular strikes.
I think KB knows he needs to be active in this round. I think he knows what his energy reserve is now in this third round, and he needs to empty the tank and I think expend that energy, try to land more than Millender.
And not just that, I think he's got to hurt Millender because Millender doesn't seem to be afraid of any of the strikes that's coming his way.
He doesn't really respect the kicks. The boxing, he seems to just walk through. So it's it's definitely, he needs to kind of change something up. He's been kind of lackadaisical in some of his fights, taking too long to get into his moment, and hopefully in this fight he's able to kind of like flick that switch and not be lackadaisical and kind of like show the dynamics of his strikes.
Buller cannot allow Millender to land those punches if he wants to leave the cage victorious. Millender doing a good job. A shot to the midsection.
And also, like him walking forward, it sets a tone to the judges as well.
100%.
He's in the driver's seat. And that's what makes it really tough with KB's style, is he's just all about luring you in. But aesthetically, it's not as pleasing combatively. Straight right there from Millender, looking away.
Wow, Millender just getting out of the way. Buller wide-eyed, trying to draw out the strikes of Millender in hopes of countering.
Exchange kicks there.
Buller moving his head nicely, not allowing Millender to land flush.
Millender looking at those legs for a second, just kind of like plant that seat potentially.
Neither of these guys are making a lot of mistakes here. It's a very, very competitive fight. You're seeing them kind of go 1-for-1 here. It's going to be a really difficult fight to score for the judges, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the thing is, they're not leaving opportunities for their opponent, so it makes it tactically hard to be able, like, you want to make your opponent reach or move, and you're trying to like take those opportunities, but there's not a ton of opportunities being given, so you got to forcefully add stuff, you know, like stepping forward with your big kicks, or, you know.
And that's it. When everything is relatively even or equal, I honestly think that the judges are looking at the fact that Millender's the guy moving forward.
Totally. And a takedown attempt, double unders from Millender, following it up, pressing him up against the cage right in KB's corner. KB turning his opponent. And this is where KB has to do some work.
He's got to do something.
Yeah.
He's just got to send a message to the judges that he is trying to end Millender.
And like even with his back against the cage, Millender's landing those strikes and pushes off. And it's like this nonchalantness. Just like no respect to KB Buller, it seems like.
Buller continues to miss the mark with those punches. Millender scoring.
Just too short on a lot, like the jab, and like just not a full commitment. And part of that might be those oblique kicks. You're scared to like sit down on that punch in case your knee explodes.
But this is what Buller needs to do. He's more active, and that prevents Millender from moving forward.
Yeah, and especially when it's this tight of a fight.
Just keep throwing.
Yeah.
Millender seems to have really figured out the timing, though. He's not getting hit with much in this round.
Yeah, he's not eating those kicks. He's not allowing those kicks to really even happen. So, and the boxing is not comparable. Millender's not respecting the boxing at all. And like a big right hand there, and Millender's pretty happy with that because he knew he landed it.
That's what it's been. It's been a chess match. If you land something, you should be happy. He just took his bishop.
Yeah, exactly. He strikes there, and anti-social in the way. And, you know, Millender charging his opponent into the cage in the 35-ish seconds. You know, it's going to...
Buller's got to do something.
Yeah, he's got to reverse his opponent, do something big, land a big shot, you know. He's just jockeying for position here, does nothing judges-wise. Either body.
And again, we don't know anything about the scoring in the sense of what the judges are seeing. We're just using our own perspective.
And it's also important that we're calling a fight, right?
That's right.
The judges are focused solely on what's going on in the cage. We're focused on what's going on in the TVs in front of us, the cage in front of us, the voices in our head from the truck.
Yeah.
Everything. Whereas the judges have a singular focus here.
Totally. I agree with that. You know, and being like we're focused on articulating what's going on, and they're focused on who won this fight based on this. Both fighters with their hands up in the air, and
tough 15 minutes.
Yeah,
for both of these athletes.
Yeah, and it's hard to kind of put it into words for the viewers at home how exhausting, emotionally, physically, spiritually, so to speak, it can be on a fighter. That 15 minutes of fight. No love lost between these two, obviously. Both corners seem to be pretty, you know, confident of their fighter, which makes it tough, you know.
Who will it be? Will it be KB, the Bengal, Buller, or Curtis Millender, that will get to leave the unified MMA cage victorious.
The stylistic aesthetics of KB's does not always lead to looking like you're winning, right?
I get it.
Yeah. And it's super technical, and he doesn't need a ton of hard shots because of it.
He's trying to be the matador.
Yeah.
Trying to draw out the big shots, so all he has to do is touch perfectly, precisely on the chin, on the temple, to get the knockout in that fashion. All right, we'll set it up to Don Andrews for our official decision from our co-main event.
Fight fans, we have a decision. Judge Ziad Harb, Judge Jason Tatlow, and Judge Luke Boutin score this fight all the same for your winner by unanimous decision, Curtis Millender.
Curtis Millender with the victory here at Unified MMA 50. Aaron Bronstetter.
I'm joined by Curtis Millender. Hopefully you'll be more courteous to me than you just were to your opponent. Congratulations on the win. Coming into his backyard and spoiling the party, a rematch. Tell me how it feels to come here to Edmonton and get this win.
Back home in California, I'm always a local guy, so I get you got to root for your people, but I want to say thank you to Edmonton for the hospitality. I actually got to explore the mall this time, even though it was cold. Yes, I said 26 is cold, but I'm thankful. I want to come back. You guys don't have an 85 champ. I'm the baddest motherfucker in the building at 185, so let's do it.
This is your last year competing as a mixed martial artist. In December, you're going to have your last fight in California. Before then, would you like to come back here to Canada and hoist gold for a final time?
Man, set me up in the fall. I'm down. August, September, I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
Curtis Millender, give this man a hand. Congratulations on the big win.
Thank you.
Millender sucking the air out of the room as he gets another big victory in his mixed martial arts campaign.
Yeah, he definitely fought a smart fight tactically and really was able to figure out KB Buller, which is usually a hard Rubik's Cube to figure out.
On March 31st.